What's the shortest war in history? Maybe it was the 100-hour football war between Honduras and El Salvador, or maybe it was the 6-hour conquest of Denmark from Germany in the 1940s. It's difficult to conceptualize that in such a short period of time we could lose all that life and only end up with a teenager making the least funny meme I've ever seen in my life. However, the shortest war in history only took a whopping 38 minutes, less time than is needed for a video essayist to make me lose my respect for him. Where? Who? You get the drill. 1896, Zanzibar. Here is an independent country, but only in the kinda sorta way where the British are involved. But this isn't going where you think it's going. Well, yet, as Zanzibar had been a colony of somewhere for like forever and was already getting eaten up by Germany 5 minutes after getting independence, so when the British started inserting themselves into Zanzibari affairs, the rulers of Zanzibar just sorta let it happen. Mostly to protect trade, since Zanzibar was big into that. Unfortunately, much of that trade was slavery, and Britain was trying to get them to stop, which one sultan called cringe and unpilled. I'm paraphrasing. Point is, there was growing anxiety among Zanzibar's ruling class regarding their waning autonomy in the face of the British. Yeah, I'm giving historical context while giving historical context, aren't I, a zany tuber? British control over the island extended to even choosing who the next sultan would be. The throne did not automatically go to the son, by the way. There could be multiple candidates among many different family members. This was the case for a while, barring a short period of drama where this one guy called Khalid tried making himself sultan without British approval, but clearly this will be an isolated incident and you should not think about him anymore. Moving on. Now back to the past, present, I passed in the past, I present 1896, where the reigning Sultan of Zanzibar was one Hamad, who, in line with the glorious traditions of his forebears, dropped dead one morning. Of course, it would take some time for this news to reach everyone and for an agreement to be reached about his heir, yada yada yada, but very conveniently, Khalid came back and made himself Sultan just hours later. How thoughtful of him to save us the trouble. Obviously, expecting some sort of disapproval for this, Khalid barricaded himself in his seaside palace to keep the British away. Unfortunately, the operative words here are seaside and British. Naturally, the bitter British bid the boy abandon his barricade, but Khalid felt confident in his strategy of hoping that the problem would just go away. Besides, what did he have to worry about? The British might have had the advantage, and artillery, but he had his harem, which was absolutely loaded with cushions. The standoff went on for a few more days while the British waited for permission from the government, and when they did, they were given permission to do basically whatever. Look, hey. Are you leaving yet? No, we just got permission to shoot at you if you don't get out of that palace today. Did you hear us, or? I'm not leaving. You are going to die. And you can shoot all you want. I am a red-pilled Sigma male, you omega cock. The war went exactly like you think it did, where the British kept up continuous fire on the Sultan's palace for 40 minutes-ish. It was hard keeping track of time with the death and the terror and all, but we know the bombardment started at 9:02 in the morning and stopped somewhere around 9:40, hence the 38-minute figure. But if we look at the expected rate of fire of these ships and compare it to the number of rounds expended, we can roughly calculate how badly I need to go outside. By the end of the shelling, the island was firmly in British control, with minimal collateral. Khalid escaped, though, having snuck out through the back and hid himself in the German consulate on the island, avoiding capture until the British took German East Africa outright during World War I, thus ending the reign of Sultan Khalid, a name meaning eternal. The British installed their preferred candidate onto the throne and took the opportunity to expand British authority on the island, including forcing the new Sultan to abolish slavery entirely, which sort of worked. And so, the sun set in the west, the earth kept spinning, and another spot on the map had to be colored a deeper shade of red. The moral is, yeah, you know what, if you needed this story to set your life back on course, you really just suck.